It's Subjective Truth, and we're back at Mesa City Limits on a very rainy night. We're here to talk about some bullshit, and we're here to talk about some real stuff. First of all, we should tell you who's here tonight. Nixon is missing. My lovely co-host is not right beside me tonight, and I'm going to miss her. Hope you start feeling better if you're listening, and you damn well better be listening.
She's listening.
We all miss you. Tell everybody tell Nixon that you miss her.
I miss you, Nixon. Really, it's terrible.
I miss you.
Travesty.
And I know she's listening.
I wouldn't even be here if I know you weren't even going to be here. I'm sorry.
So, we give a shout out to our host and patron, Chris Spire, the owner of Mesa City Limits Comedy Club, and our
hello. Howdy.
Our regular stagger by guest, as always. He's here again.
He's done some staggering by.
And right around the corner from Mesa City Limits, you'll find a very awesome place to eat. It's called Smokey's Bar and Grill. And now you can find their entire daily menu at GoneRogueRadio.com. Right at the front, right at the top of the front page, if you look, you'll see a really cool graphic that says Smokey's Daily Menu and Catering Info. You click on that and you can call up Darren and tell him what you want to eat.
The new love of my life, Scarlett. Did she put that together?
I did all that myself.
You did?
Yeah, that was all.
The new love of my life is now
Darren.
Now the love of your life.
Right on. I guess I'm out. I'm coming out. I'm in love with Derek.
I think it's going to be weird if you're filling in for Nixon tonight. So
yeah. All right. Here's you put a menu up there for me. I really appreciate it. Looked great.
And here's some information for you. Something really cool that we've been doing. We've been doing this giveaway online. You can see a picture on our Facebook page. That's a pot of gold that started out a few more pieces of gold than what it ended up to be. But Chris helped himself here and there. So now we've got a final number on that gold.
They're made out of chocolate, man. You didn't park that in there. It's made out of chocolate.
But we do have a final number on the gold after Chris took his share. And if you want to go to the Facebook page right now, Gone Rogue Radio, check out that picture and guess on the picture. On the picture. If you see it shared somewhere else and you click on the picture, guess there. Don't guess on the share because I'm never going to see that shit. So, here's the deal. We're going to tell you who wins probably in about an hour into the show. We're going to keep you in suspense for a while. Closest guess without going over takes the prizes. And now I can tell you, since you, the listener, are paying attention, I can tell you what the prizes are. We've kept that a mystery for a week. And
very good. Secret keepers.
It was a secret even for me until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. We got 2 tickets to Mesa City Limits Comedy Club for you at any show in November. I'm sure if you can't make it till December.
Starting November 8th, they're not good for the disco death. But
they're not good for the play.
But we got Eric Hunter, we have Dr. Gonzo, we have Kenny Smith.
I'm doing that weekend too.
Yeah, Charlie Wiener.
And Charlie Wiener, my friend Charlie Wiener, fabulous Charlie Wiener. He's a Carol Pennington guy. Really funny. You're going to love him.
Mama Cass, you know
I've got some Charlie Wiener stories.
You know Wiener?
Yeah. You know Charlie from way back, I'm guessing.
Well, Charlie and I did many gigs together. I remember he's from Cleveland, I was from Dayton. One time he drove down from Cleveland to Dayton, which is about 3 hours. And then we toured we drove out to Minot, North Dakota, and I swear to God he drove the whole way, all the way through. And he just kept drinking coffee and talking the whole time. And that must have been like 28 hours. I think I drove the last half hour. But he is the consummate road dog. Speaking of ranters.
Yeah. Speaking of ranters, we're not quite done with business. We'll get to the ranter in a second. We got a ranter on the line ready to go. Fully prepared and prepped. But we need to talk about a couple other people. We need to talk about Shane Michael Photography in St. Charles, Missouri. Shane did some photography work for us and is going to do some more work for us when we can get all of this crew together someplace.
Check out his website. He's put some fantastic stuff. Yeah, he's got good stuff.
You can find the website for any of the people that support Gone Rogue Radio on our website at GoneRogueRadio.com. Right there on the front page are active links to Chris's website at Mesa City Limits, mclimits.com. You can see, you can go to Darren's Facebook page from there. You can also see, as I mentioned, Darren's full and complete menu on our website starting today.
Some hard work done there.
It's cool. I think it turned out really nice.
Oh, yeah, really nice. People very visible, very easy to get to.
But you got the hard work, dude. You're preparing the food, which is awesome every single day. And we should give a shout out. Darren brought snacks for the guests and the staff.
Darren always comes through with the food. Thank you, Darren.
Sure does. He's our catering partner at Gone Rogue Radio.
He brought a 6-pack of beer, even.
Oh, really? You brought beer, too?
I was just trying to get Mama Cass to open up a little bit.
That doesn't violate any liquor
Really?
laws. Right?
As far as I know, she is still.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
You can get Mama Cass drunk.
it's like
legally
you
in
never
the state.
talk unless you've had a beer in you.
So we got
That's
some
right.
pizza.
I'm
But
shy.
she's never sober, so that's
Shy
You guys
as
are
a
way off topic. We got. Tell us about this pizza we got.
I put together pretty much a Supreme tonight. Brought it over here, thin crust, fresh mozzarella cheese. Basically, my own 4-ingredient sauce that works out real well.
So are you a square guy, or are you?
No, here I got it. The pizza's square, but the taste is not.
Oh, there you go. That's why he's in marketing over there.
What did that just cost you?
What did I do? 75.
Come on,
That
man.
totally came up with that
man.
for a reason. One of our guests that we're going to get to in a little bit is a public relations major who's basically changed the social landscape of Central Illinois.
You bet he
The 217 area code, anyway. He's made a huge impact. We're going to get to him in a minute, but we need to finish up this business stuff. We talked about Shane Michael Photography. Does great work for any event you might have, weddings through funerals. If you want to take a few snapshots of Grandma in the grave, call up Shane Michael Photography. He can hook you up. Who else we got? Oh, John Gaston at Gaston's Martial Arts. I'm a student over there when I've got the time to go, and unfortunately recently that hasn't been a lot, but I can fully recommend his program for adults and children both. If you've got a kid that's having discipline problems, maybe they're getting bullied a little bit, they're having some confidence issues, take them over to Gaston's and get them signed up for a class. I guarantee you it's a family-friendly environment. You'll feel safe with your kid there. They'll have a great time, and they'll learn to be able to deal with those difficult situations outside of the class. Touchdown, flag on the play. This show is live, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday Night Football is playing in the background, but we have it muted.
Yeah,
Really
last week, of
great
course,
play.
the Cardinals lost, and Darren stuck with it, even though he's heartbroken.
Yeah.
He was crushed. And what was so ironic about that is Darren had this crushing line right before that. I mean, Darren threw out a line that just absolutely destroyed at the same moment that guy was hitting the home run.
And you noticed I was the only one that wasn't laughing at that killer line. Took the wind right out of me. That one hurt. That one
It
hurt.
was fabulous. It was such an ironic moment in life. I really enjoyed that one.
Well, thank you, Derek, for pointing that out.
Yeah, so Gaston's Martial Arts Academy. I fully recommend that you go out there. And like I said, as a child or an adult, for an adult, it's a great full body workout, and it's a place that you can go into. Even if you've never taken a martial arts class, you're not going to be intimidated walking through the door. Nobody's going to be scary, and nobody's going to try to drive you away. So, Gaston's Martial Arts Academy. You can also check out that link on our website, GoneRogueRadio.com. I'm trying to find out how many times I can say GoneRogueRadio.com in like the first 10 minutes of the program, and so far it's like 8.
Yeah, I
Who
lost
knows?
count. I lost
Nixon's
count
not
at
here
6.
to count
So.
for me, so.
I suck at numbers.
Yeah. So around the room, we've got Mama Cass sort of filling in. She's hanging out. She's going to start doing her program of her own called Get a Grip with Mama Cass. We're going to start recording that soon. You want to make sure that you check out the website. Again, GoneRogueRadio.com. Number 9. Got it in. And you'll find out when Mama Cass will be on there. But you'll be able to hear from her tonight. Next to me, I don't know if he's playing the hot chick tonight or not, but
I
he
can
looks
be.
lovely.
I can do it.
Darren Smith, the owner of Smokey's Bar and Grill, as
Good
I
evening.
mentioned, proprietor who brought all the lovely eats, and they are fabulous. Those are some prize-winning wings, I'm assuming.
Those are the original wings. Those are what they call naked wings, right there. They're not seasoned.
They don't need it.
They're smoked.
They are grilled.
They taste best
They
with
are-
beer. That's the season.
that's what it is. I have a couple of clients here around the area, local bar owners that buy them, and they call them beer bait. They sprinkle some of those on the bar, and people huddle up and buy beer shortly thereafter. So
And if you've listened to the program before, you've heard me mention that Darren not only had an award-winning burger over
You
at
bet.
Smokey's Bar
You
and
bet.
Grill that kicked ass 2-1 victory,
Texas
slammed
burger.
the competition,
You bet.
totally destroyed. He also came right back and whipped their asses again with these prize-winning wings.
you know it.
So
The wings did it. The wings were
So
Next, chicken feed, I think. Chicken feed, right? I think.
along with the 2 tickets to Mason City Limits that you're going to be able to get in this giveaway tonight, if you're the closest to the number without going over, the number of, I don't know if it's the coins, it's everything in the bucket. Just take a guess. Don't go over. You'll win 2 tickets to Mason City Limits. You will also win a $30 gift card to Smokey's Bar and Grill. So you can come out here, see a show,
Dinner
get a
show.
meal, date night in Mason City. Sounds great to me.
That's actually a very popular item. Chris is.
Make sure that's food, though. I don't want to go over there and drink like $30 worth of beer and then come over here.
You know, your headliner.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Right there.
I thought you $30 worth of food.
$30 worth of food. Don't put it out there like that.
I'm sorry.
Be careful with watching the
My
patrons.
business interests there.
That's a caveat from the guy who has to provide his own security at the club.
Personally, I don't care if you throw up over at Chris's or not. Just don't do it at my place. No, $30 worth of food. That's good. You and a date. You come on over with your $30 and have a good time. Send you over to Chris. Get you sat down. Good comedy show. I think for our first giveaway, this is huge. This is a big one.
I got one more thing. I'm not done.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
one more.
Wow.
I got a $50 gift card from Route 66 Monster Tattoo in Chatham, Illinois.
Oh, my goodness.
There you go. I tell you what.
So if you're closest to the number without going over, you'll get 2 tickets to Mason City Limits to any show in November, starting November 8th.
Am I eligible to win a $50 gift card down at Monster Tattoos?
Can I be a temporary tattoo?
I want to get a good start on my tramp stamp.
I don't think we have any exemptions, so
I just
take a guess.
want to get started on my tramp stamp.
Yeah, it goes in your passport.
If
Yeah.
you're a Darren fan and you win the prize, you should donate your tattoo card to him because he wants it really bad.
I really want to get me a tramp stamp.
Right in the middle of his forehead.
That would make me the ultimate tramp, I would think.
Which has plenty of space on my
Mark
lap.
Klein had the best joke about, I got one tattoo, it's upside down on my neck, it says, let go of my ears, ma'am, I know what I'm doing. Mark Klein, ladies and gentlemen.
Next in line, Chris Spire, the owner of Mason City Limits, is back with us again tonight. We're
Yeah,
always
Chris,
glad to have you.
love your basement,
and
man.
he's probably going to be doing a lot of talking tonight because we got a really special guest on the phone, headlining comedian, good friend of Mason City Limits Comedy Club.
Yes, he's headlined here twice now.
He has. Good friend of mine. I was able to get in front of him when he was here the first time, and the second time I happened to be passing by, and we ended up spending like 2 or 3 hours doing Neil, and the Neils in your showroom for
The Neils.
It was a fun experience.
And that's Neil Sedaka, Neil Young, and
It was 3 versions of the same Neil.
Neil Young and Neil Young. Yeah.
I think we had the drunk chickens here that night too, if I remember right.
And you couldn't tell them apart from the Neil Young. Wow.
We couldn't.
Amazing.
It was amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show for the first time my friend Jamey Stone. Yay.
Nice call for applause for you.
I don't have any.
Gentlemen, please, thank you for that stunning intro.
And he's in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, working a club called Penguins with a very funny lady named April Macy.
Yeah, I'm glad I had tonight off to come to the show. We did Dubuque, the casino in Dubuque last night.
Oh, it's a great room. The Dubuque room was a great room.
Well, I was pretty happy. Going out there last night, looking out and seeing kind of a sea of cotton out there, and basically, looking, and I go, man, am I allowed to use 4-letter words on this podcast?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because I looked out and I looked at all these people and I said, I am going to scare the shit out of these people. Yeah, well, I think what I did is I did a sweep of the room. It's kind of like when you run sheep over the minefield, to find out where the problem spots are. So,
Oh, sure.
but really a good time. We got a night off and then we're doing Penguins tonight and tomorrow night. So I'm looking forward to a great weekend.
That's not too far out of our viewing area, or our listener base. So,
Yeah, well, we go to Japan, so I think it's a little closer than Japan. So, yeah. We get to Japan, we just can't get to Cedar Rapids. It's really weird. It's like a Buddy Holly plane. It just never gets to its
If you
destination.
can make it to Cedar Rapids, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
That goes.
Yeah,
But
I'm
if it
sure
plays in Cedar
Japan
Rapids,
listen-
it probably works in Dubuque.
Japan listening to this going, oh, yeah, Jamey Stone's on. Shut up. Oh, my God, he's in Cedar Rapids. We got to.
And your hometown is it Raleigh or in South Carolina? I'm sorry.
I live in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Wilmington, and a very historical town. I think we talked about this, and one of your part-time gigs when you're not on the road is being a tour guide, correct?
Well, I do sometimes when I'm not around. I do what's called the haunted pub crawl, which is cool. We take people out, and because I have a history degree, it kind of works out. Take people to the bars. We lay some history on them, tell them about the ghosts that haunt it, and then we get them drunk. So
there you go. Happy ending. Happy ending.
Happy.
The craziest thing is that the drunker they get, the more ghosts they see. I think personally. So, no, that's not really the point. But.
A history major. I mean, that came in handy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
I have two degrees.
And we're in culinary arts, I believe.
Yeah.
Sorry, I read your bio. I had to write the article for the club. I know a little bit about that.
I've been in a club twice. I hope somebody frickin' read it.
So you're really good at old history, old cookbooks.
What's your oldest recipe? Let me guess what your oldest recipe is. Your oldest recipe is ice. Do you have that one written down in your historical book of recipes there?
No, it's stick. It's stick chewy. We try and take off bark.
Bark. Yummy.
Why does every caveman have to sound like a 1940s Tarzan movie?
Yeah, no. At least he speaks English. I know we should be down on Tarzan, considering he lived in the jungle the whole time. He picked up English pretty well for a second language.
Did they ever dub Tarzan?
What do you speak? English and caveman. That's English only.
Very fluent in caveman.
I want to know if there are any Tarzan voiceovers in Japanese. Anything dubbed into Japanese.
Konnichiwa.
I think that would be awesome. That would be amazing. Plus, we have so many Japanese viewers. I'm sure somebody could tell us.
So if you're in Japan right now watching Tarzan and it sounds normal to you, call us right now. Call us right now. And let us know that it only comes in Japanese. Tarzan is only played in Japanese.
There's some guy sitting on tech support for Geico going, why I have test 2 for caveman?
And why are Ringo Starr on my TV?
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, this is probably about the fourth time we've had maybe the sixth time we've had the show here at the club. Is that right?
I think we're on number 7 now.
Number
Number 7.
I've passed out a couple times, so
Yes.
I might not remember
Yes,
all
you
the
did.
shows. But
Yeah.
No, we just booked. Last time you were in town, I was out of town, but I heard so many good things. It was Valentine's Day weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
Had a big blizzard.
Yeah, the people who trudged through the snow, man, really made the scene. They came out and they were fun. They were the second night. It's just we got off topic, and I just ended up telling funny family stories and show business stuff. And but it was a blast. I had a really good time last summer.
No, I heard it was a legendary performance.
That sounds like a straight line.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but I was in Fort Wayne that weekend, so all the big cities, all the Cedar Rapids, Fort Wayne, Mason City.
Hey, Fort Wayne's a fun.
So the culinary arts thing. How long did you work in restaurants, and how did that comedy career evolve out of that whole thing?
Well, actually, I was out of restaurants by the time comedy came around. I went to culinary school, graduated when I was 20, and then went out into the field and worked in kitchens and restaurants, and moved to front of house. And then after I got to about 32, I think, and I went, oh my God, I don't want to work in the kitchens anymore. This sucks.
Hey, Darren's standing right here, man. He owns the place.
He's standing right here. I can hear you.
Oh man, you're making him cry now. It's horrible. He's way older than 32.
It's just like you're in my headphones.
I have the attention span of a housefly, so it wasn't
your deal. It wasn't your deal, and you wanted to move on.
Yeah, I mean, when I came home, my dog started barking at me. My kids would be like, "What are you doing here?" "Well, I live here." "Oh, we're not used to seeing you home."
Mm-hmm.
And they had grown, an inch or two since I'd left, and I realized it was time to do something else. So, but got into the wireless industry and worked as a manager and a trainer for Sprint. Am I allowed to use product names? A company,
Yeah,
a
we
company
don't
that rhymes with.
Yeah, they're not a
and,
sponsor. Fuck them. Yeah.
Sprint
Yeah.
Push to talk this, motherfuckers.
The only people I don't want you fucking with are the Scientologists. So you got any?
Oh yeah. We're owned by the
I don't have the legal
Illuminati.
staff for that shit.
The Illuminati is one of our sponsors, and you forgot to mention. It's the all-unseen eye of.
Bubba Radio is. Speaking of Bubba Radio,
Rosicrucian.
if you go to our player page, if you're on our player page listening to the show right now, I added at the request of my buddy Darren a chat room on the player page. So if you want to talk to us, you can actually log in, or it'll assign you a name, and then you have to change it. Like ours was like Tushy Bear or something like that. Now it's Gone Rogue Radio, I think. Anyway. If you're listening to us, you got a specific request, you got a question for Jamey, you got a question for our guest coming up, you can
send them out, man.
Yeah, you can get right there.
I think comedy came out of when I was working at Sprint. Customers would come in and just be really fucking stupid, and I would sit there and with a totally straight face be totally sarcastic to them, and the whole staff would start cracking up, and they didn't know I was being sure. And somebody's like, "Man, you're hilarious. You should be doing comedy." And I'm like, the customers aren't laughing. They're like, they're mad. We think you're hysterical.
Yeah. And what was your first performance? What city was that in?
That was in Tempe, Arizona. I went and took a class. I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. I took a class at the Tempe Improv, Introduction to Stand-Up Comedy. And so it was after I took 2 classes, like a beginning and intermediate, and after that I went, you know what, I think I've learned everything I'm going to learn here.
Right, you got to go and fly. You got to flap those wings, man. What do you remember about your first performance? What stands out about that experience?
What stands out is I had an unusual experience because most people, oh man, yeah, the first time I got up I sucked and everybody hated me or I got booed off. So I had a great show. What screwed me up is I had a great show that night. And then I went out and I did a comedy competition, and I got moved to the semifinals, and I went, holy shit, I'm great at this. I'm a god. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be a comedian. And then I went out and got to the semifinals and just ate a big bag of it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I went, I think I have some learning to do. Maybe I was a little hasty.
Yeah, it hits you on the fucking side of the head like a big dead wet fish.
Darren's still here.
Yeah, dead fish. Sorry,
I would get offended by that.
No, same thing for me. First few times went really well, and then my college, I just graduated, had this competition at the Rathskeller, and I wore a suit and tie every time. So I wore a suit and tie into the Rathskeller. Which is a bad idea, right? It's a bar. It's not a
not a suit and tie.
I remember I was up there and they're laughing. I had my little list of jokes, and I was sweating so bad, and I was looking at my list, but I couldn't read it. I was too nervous to read my jokes. It was harsh, man. But until then, everything would be great, and then that was like reality hitting you like a fucking alimony payment.
Wow, Chris, something I never knew about.
Yeah. I know. I'm single, no kids. That really is fucking serious.
That bothers me.
I get an alimony
They
payment.
can hit you with alimony at any time, it seems.
No, but I feel your pain, especially the first few times you do well, and and I think nobody's immune to that kind of thing. Even as long as you do this, you're taking a chance every time you hit the stage. Really.
I think that there's definitely something to be learned about having an uneven, uneven crowd response the first number of times you do it. Because, and I think the best thing when I tell people, I say, don't just go to one club all the time and do your material. You need to get out to other clubs.
Oh, yeah.
What one audience loves. And to have that uneven response, that's what makes you learn. When you stand out on stage and think, man, the last 4 shows were great, and then you bomb, you go, okay, what do I need to do to get through to these people?
Yeah, you have to get out of your comfort zone. I think everyone has a home club and stuff, but it's Derek too has been getting out now on the road as he steps out of the microphone. But it's important to I'm from the Midwest. I mean, just going down south is a good example of you really have to have a different mindset. You have to be in tune with the audience, and I think we can tell now if you're in the middle of a joke and it's not going to work before you get to the punchline. They're not going to like this joke.
Yeah, I've been a minute and a half into a 5-minute routine and just stopped and looked and went, you know what?
Yeah.
This is, you guys are going to fucking hate this. So,
So here's April Mason. I'm just
you know, if you're intuitive on stage and you look out, you could look at an audience and go, all right, there's about 75% of the people in this room that are just not with me. I'm going to change direction. You know, there's nothing regal about holding onto a joke and finishing it that you know isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamey, this is sort of a standard question that I ask a lot of the guys that come on the show. Do you remember how you made the transition from a featured performer to a headlining comedian?
I think I did one or two crappy gigs as a headliner, and you know, I was able to pass myself off as a headliner because I had done, you know, a couple of feature shows that had gone really well, and I started getting more material, and I thought, man, I got like an hour's worth of material here. And then I did my first headline set, and I went, wow, I have 40 minutes worth of material here. And,
like a time warp or something. What happened?
yeah, it's like, wow, 20 minutes of that just ate it. So I think it was just more about learning about flow and what works and, you know, where to put stuff.
And hand
People
jobs.
get a better response.
And hand jobs, what?
And hand jobs, right? Is that part of it?
No, not at the club I went to. I was lucky that somebody handed me my check. That was about all I was expecting there.
Well, hand jobs as an MC, I think when you move up the feature, it goes to blowjob, doesn't it? Isn't that the rule? I mean, I'm a member of the union, but I really haven't read the bylaws lately.
This isn't my contract. I'm
Yeah.
Handies and yeah.
I'm supposed to get my finger wet. That's what it says.
What? Get your finger wet? Here's one of Darren's standard questions, and he hasn't thrown it out there yet. Worst gig ever?
Yeah, I like that.
Worst gig ever. I did a show in Georgia somewhere. I had a Friday night show scheduled and a Saturday night show, and I was going to just do a late checkout on the Friday night one-nighter because there was no hotel for the Saturday night show. And I was going to do the show and go home. Well, the Friday night show got canceled, so I didn't want to bail on the gig because I had just moved to North Carolina, and I thought, well, I don't want to piss off these bookers. You know, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Sure, you
just on the locals.
I drove 8 hours one way to a headline spot, and there were 17 people in the audience. Now, let me be specific. 6 of those people were in the band that was playing afterwards.
And they're not big fans of comedy necessarily.
Yeah, and about 4 of the people were the wives or girlfriends. I think there were 3 paying customers that sat and talked all the way through the show. And, I mean, they paid me as I was walking off stage. I stuck my hand out to the host to shake his hand, and he handed me my money.
You just keep walking.
As I was walking off stage. I mean, it was literally about 2 minutes and 30 seconds between the time I said, I'm Jamey Stone, good night, and I was in my car hauling ass out of the parking lot as fast as I could.
Now, that's always a long drive, especially an 8-hour drive after a bad show like that.
You didn't stick around and sell CDs that night?
There was more laughter during Schindler's List.
The gratuitous Schindler's List joke tonight. Very good, very good. It's, you know, I'm always curious. You know, I've met some wonderful people through Chris and his club that he's got going on here, and I always wonder what a bad night for a comic is. You know, and it's like you just described it. You drove 8 hours, just exhausted.
I totally didn't see where that was going. I was thinking in my head, we should have warned Darren before the show, no anti-Semitic shit tonight.
Really?
And then he comes out with something that's completely different. I thought he was going to...
No,
I thought he was going after Schindler's List.
No, God, no. I like Mr. Schindler. He's a nice guy.
I'm a
list.
Jew living in the South. I'm a Jew living in the South. I mean, come on. I think I've become immune at this point, you know.
No, it's just, I've met so many people that, and wonderful people, wonderful to talk to, wonderful stories, mostly intelligent for the most part. And I
we'll start hanging out with you and you feed us beers all night. Then that intelligence might falter.
No, mine is the only Mine is the only intelligence that does not falter during the beer Q&A. Okay?
Yeah, but guess what? You don't drink beer. You drink the John Daly.
Yeah, I drink John Daly.
And then-
motherfucking
That's
Dailies.
correct, ma'am. That is correct. Anyway,
It's just like Arnold Palmer with booze, basically. That's what that is. And Vicodin.
yes, the Vicodin always helps on the John Daly's. I have a disclaimer. The drink is not either endorsed by John Daly nor is it made by John Daly. It just has, and it's spelled D-A-I-L-Y.
No,
I don't know
it's
if you
the
can-
former mayor of Chicago's son. It's a totally different John Daly. Totally different John Daly.
I thought you can legally call it a John Daly if a John Daly has actually pissed it out at least one time.
I'm pretty sure, but not
It
in
had to
order.
fail a drug test
Yes,
after it was
yes.
pissed out. And,
You pissed it out and
Yeah.
failed your drug test.
There we go.
You have had a John Daly.
Now, who was it that outed me as a member of the Hebrew Nation there?
oh, that was Derek who did.
Okay.
Is Jamey Stone your real name, or is that a stage name?
That's a stage name. The real one is too many letters.
Right, okay, see,
Anyway.
there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not obvious.
I got enough Irish in me, so I'm an Irish Jew. So 3/4 of the family's mad I'm not a lawyer, and the other quarter's mad I'm not a bartender. So,
Perfect.
I wrote a joke about how, I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself, and I went to my college counselor and said, what do I do? And he said, well, we have a test that we can give you, and it's like 1,000 questions, and it asks you, what do you like to do, what are your interests, everything else, and then they mail you the results. So I got the results back by the mail. The top 2 results I'm supposed to do with my rest of my life. Number 1, comedian. Number 2, rabbi. And I'm sitting there reading the results, eating my pulled pork and bacon sandwich.
Kosher pulled pork, right?
Better start writing some jokes, bitch.
Really liking this sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah. People see me and they see the hair, and they go, the hair, yeah, that looks like Jew hair right there. That's a Jew hair.
Is it Jufro? It's not a Jufro necessarily.
Jufro. Is that a term we use now?
Jufro is a very popular term. You've ever heard?
No, it's so popular I've never heard it.
Yes. Well, you have no hair, dude. I would see why maybe nobody said, "Hey, that's a Jufro."
I would say.
For the last time.
I like the back half of it,
You weren't in the building
back
that
half
night.
of it.
I see
It's
receding
receding
there.
in the
Yeah,
front.
for
He has hair.
I choose
an
not to wear
exaggeration.
it. I just choose.
Yeah, you didn't shave today.
You're just going misleading.
looks like
Hey, can you qualify, is the Jufro still in existence or is it gone? Because I don't remember you having
I think it's going strong, man. It's like the new mullet.
Yeah?
What?
Yes, it's the new mullet.
I'm talking about in particular this guy. Are you still sporting it?
What are you talking about, me?
Yeah, you. Are you still
Oh,
sporting
well, it's
Jufro?
disappearing in the front. So, it's a true story, and I actually told this on stage a couple of times because it's the absolute truth. Yeah, he said, "Is that a wig?" I said, "Who the hell buys a receding wig?" There's a sale at the wig store, half off. I'll take the back half. What the hell, man?
Yeah. They're the parts on layaway.
Yeah. A couple of years, I'm going to look like a grapefruit in a bowl of noodles.
Should we talk about the obvious thing? Should we ask him the obvious question?
I want to ask him. No, I want to.
Well, Chris, you want to ask him about it?
You do have a, how would you call that, a disability? You call that a disease? You call that a situation? Very led to some situations.
Yes, I started. I have mild Tourette syndrome, and I didn't start talking about it on stage when I started doing comedy. I wanted to have an hour's worth of every other kind of material before I ever talked about Tourette's.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to be that Tourette's guy. I didn't want to be that guy that was, that guy stood on stage and talked about Tourette's for half an hour. I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So at what point did you sell outright the joke?
To the point that I start talking about it.
Yeah, well, you're like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. Well, at some point you were like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. It's funny as hell. So when did you start throwing that in?
Oh, probably about 3 years ago, I guess. I finally decided that I had enough material that I could joke about it. And, people still come up after the show and they'll be like, do you really have that? I'm like, yeah, I'm talking about it. Why would I create this disorder and talk about it for 5 minutes if I didn't? But because it's like this big joke disease.
Well, it is used as a punchline. In fact, I used it as a punchline in one of my jokes, so I'll be guilty there. But now, you said you have a mild form. Explain to me how that affects your daily routine.
Between shaking my arm or ticking or twitching, I get a lot of exercise. I probably burn about 200 more calories a day than you do.
And my one friend who has Tourette's majorly, he's ripped.
Oh man! But only on one
so
side.
are you like, because he's like skinny jacked, and it's like, I just think it's from like the...
Well, yes. Yes, I also have Tourette's, I guess.
I just have mostly physical tics. I'll twitch my arm or my elbow or shoulder.
Because the stereotype is the cuss words and stuff like that.
There's probably less than 20% of people with Tourette's have that, but it's only been, people have only started diagnosing it correctly in the last 15 years or so.
Before they thought it was demons or something and you were possessed? I mean, back in the days, I guess they probably would have no idea what that was.
Well, yeah, if you go back to the records of like the 15th century, I mean...
And luckily you're a history major, so you had the time.
Take us here, Mr. Time.
And they burned you with a stake and that cured you.
Right.
Well, here's my question. Tell us a story about a time that you actually used the stereotypical Tourette symptoms because of the scenario.
I talk about this on stage sometimes. I have the Tourette syndrome card that identifies me medically, and you get pulled over and the cop's being a dick. He goes, "Oh, I wasn't a speeding officer. Done it."
The Tourette's defense.
All the cops I wouldn't have had to pull over.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Are there any positive benefits? Is there a Tourette's pussy? Is there like
is there a dating service?
A pity fuck for you guys. It's I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, there's Tourette'sMingle.com.
Fuck.
Yeah, find God's match for you, douchebag. See, here I am perpetuating the stereotype, and I don't, that's really.
I know.
It's a lot of people, but I got, the only way I'm going to laugh at this, the only way I can deal with it is just laugh with it. It's just. You either laugh or you cry at everything that happens to you in life. And
how do they treat you for that? Is it medication? Is it therapy? What goes into that?
What is the regimen? Yeah, you have Tourette's and you've been diagnosed.
You go to the doctor.
What do they do? What do they say? You take 2 aspirin and quit calling.
Self-medicate, perhaps.
Oh yeah, self-medicating is great.
I'm a big fan of self-medication.
Yeah, I'm really not that bad, honestly. And, it's just because I'm kind of hyperactive anyway, and I move around a lot when I'm talking just because of my personality. It's a lot of times people don't even notice.
Are there instances where it affects you more or less, or is it pretty consistent throughout the day, or in the morning, or in the evening, or anything like that? Does it affect you more in certain hours of the day?
No, it comes and goes. It's they say that the symptoms kind of wax and wane. They get worse, they get better. Okay. Sometimes I'll have tics that last for months or days or years, and then all of a sudden they just go away and get replaced by something else. So, but that's kind of, if I'm really tired, sometimes I've gotten really ticky. But
well, here's a question. I know that for a while you were using the guitar in your act. Did it ever impact your ability to play?
No, the crazy thing is about Tourette's is when you are engaged in some activity, like there's people who are in sports or actors that when they really get focused, or people get really involved in a project, it's almost like your body kind of rewires itself. And I've had periods of time where I've been focused on something and I realize, oh man, I haven't ticked in like an hour. It's like when Mel Phillips would stop stuttering when he sang.
Yeah. And when were you diagnosed?
I got diagnosed when I was almost 20.
Wow.
That's really late.
And I went to a neurologist when I was about 15, and because the diagnostic criteria had to include what's called the coprolalia, the cursing, that they said, well, I didn't have it. So for 5 years I was going to, biofeedback and stress reduction, all this other crap. And then when I was 20, I went to a neurologist, and the guy's like, stop wasting your time. You got it. It's pretty obvious. So
meth cures Tourette's syndrome? You heard it here first. That was from Cass, by the way.
You can keep that.
Well, yeah.
You'd rather brush your teeth with it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'd rather have Tourette's. At least I get to keep my teeth and most of my
There you go. And your hair.
And some skin.
It just covers up the.
But you haven't heard of methmingle.com? It's kind of the new craze. Oh, that's awesome. So, which is your? We should probably. You have a website, of course.
Yeah, JameyStone.com. JameyStone. JameyStone.com. There's several Jamey Stones. There's a guy who was a skateboarder, and he's an editor for like Trans World magazine. Every once in a while, like every 2 years or so, I get an email that says, "Hey man, we're having a skate competition. We'd love you to come out and sign some autographs and do some tricks."
I can come up and disappoint you people, sure. Hey, wait a minute. The guy that drew for
You're gonna have to wire $5,000 to my account, and I'll show up.
There you go. JameyStone.com, and what's on your schedule coming up?
I'm doing this weekend here in Cedar Rapids, and then I'm taking November off because I got some vacation time planned, and then see what happens. I got some stuff in the works for December, and when it comes up, I'll post it.
Right on.
Hey, Jamie, a couple of weeks ago we had John McClellan on the show, who ended up being a finalist in this year's San Francisco comedy competition, and you you competed in that one time.
Yeah, I did. That was fun. It was a really stressful experience because I went before I probably should have been doing it, and I learned a lot. But it was really cool to go do that and be, God, you think about the people who've done that. Robin Williams. And,
sure. Well, Gonzo used to MC that, because he lived in Frisco, and he said Stephen Wright was out there and finished last.
Yeah, I like looking at the list of people who didn't even play.
Right, there's some very, very funny people there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and I made some friends there that I still keep in touch with to this day. And it was just a great week.
Yeah, that was a 2 week thing or a 1 week thing for you. How long were you involved in that? And it was a different show every night. Pretty much, you go to a college campus and you'll go downtown and do a gig, and then you go out to the suburbs and do a gig, and it's quite a variety of audiences, from what I understand.
Yeah, they take you to different places, and I think the coolest thing was I got to perform at the Purple Onion in San Francisco, and I'm standing there thinking to myself, man, Lenny Bruce got hauled out of here in handcuffs.
Oh, wow. That's great, yeah.
So that was pretty cool. It's closed now, I heard, but so it was cool to perform there. And then I performed at like some university in front of 600 people in a theater that held 500, so that was a pretty cool night.
They didn't get you to Alcatraz, though. I heard that's a tough room. It's
a
hard room.
Alcatraz is
called The Rock. Come on, it's a hard room.
Yeah.
We should probably give a San Francisco shout out to Dr. Gonzo while we're thinking about it.
Oh yeah, he's a Giants fan, of course. He's tickled to death about the World Series and all that. So.
Hey, where is Gonzo tonight? Is he in town or is he out running around?
He's got some friends over at Darren's place, the Smoky, said he went to see, so he might pop in later. But I think he has some friends from out of town in town, so he's...
Awesome. Well, you see Gonzo, give him a big kiss on the forehead for me.
Oh, shoot. I'll have Cass do that.
What was that?
Give Gonzo a big kiss on the forehead.
Yeah, he's always wanted just 2 minutes of my time.
So we have sort of a group topic that we wanted to broach tonight. Chris has been wanting to talk about it. We want to come up with a definition of what a douchebag is.
Well, yeah, the people throw the word douchebag around, and I just think, well, what is a douchebag? Because I think it probably means different things.
My ex-husband.
Your ex-husband's a douchebag.
So there's an example. That's an example, but we want the definition.
I want to. Here's what I think a douchebag is somebody who's insincere. That's my definition of like a Hollywood guy who's blowing smoke up your ass, who really doesn't give a shit, a cheese weasel. But to me, a douchebag would be somebody who's insincere. But I that's just my definition.
That's pretty specific. You've been giving this some thought.
Yeah.
I want to know,
because somebody can be a dick or an asshole, but not a douchebag, right? You can be a sincere asshole. I don't think you can be a sincere douchebag.
Where is the line on...
That's my definition. My definition?
Douchebags come around because asshole just wasn't strong enough.
Here's what I'm afraid of. Chris is so
People
invested with getting a true definition of the word douchebag. Chris, can I ask you a serious question up here?
Okay, go ahead.
Did somebody recently call you a douchebag?
No, absolutely not.
All right.
I've never been called a douchebag.
Here's a question.
Well, to my face.
I want to know is douchebag gender specific? Is it only applied to men?
No, it's men.
Properly?
No.
It's
I called my daughter one last week. She
atta
died laughing.
girl.
Now, what's your definition of douchebag, Cass?
A semi-floating turd in the cesspool of life.
Wow. Semi-floater. A semi-floater.
It just kind of pops up and down.
Just makes appearance when you don't want him.
Aha.
Okay.
We're talking about the
right.
X again.
Oh,
I feel like douchebag is always made in the male form. Like I don't see women being called douchebags.
Oh, I've met some douchebags. I've met some douchebag women.
I just was thinking women as being douchebags. I don't know why.
Me too. Yeah, exactly. It's like there's words for that, like bitch.
Douchebag it's better for men because it's just it's a feminine hygiene
Right.
product. To call a guy a feminine hygiene product is, it just seems, to me a douchebag is somebody that is a self-serving jerk who can never do anything good for anybody.
That's a good definition. Yeah, I think it's right up the alley of being insincere. That's what I think a douchebag is.
and poop.
Here's the thing: an asshole can be accidental. Nobody is ever accidental.
You're born that way.
Is it bleach?
Yeah, because people say, "Oh my God, I didn't mean to be an asshole," or "I didn't mean to be a dick." But you know what? I mean,
Nobody ever says,
I didn't mean to be a douchebag.
Okay, here we go. Here's the way I guess I would. Douchebaggery is always premeditated.
douchebaggery. I like this guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Douchebaggery is always premeditated.
I've been able to gather some data so far through this conversation. I have a slight confession to make. I'm a douchebag. I just found out I'm a fucking douchebag.
Now say it like you're at AA. My name's
Shut the fuck up.
I'm a douchebag.
And I'm not sorry about it, all right?
Having it start a douchebag.
You're a true douchebag then.
Yes, I just found out. I mean,
You're an unapologetic douchebag.
You know what? I'm not going to fucking play this game with you anymore. I am what I am.
Do you want to hear my joke about what I would consider to be a douchebag?
Yes.
I pulled into a Walmart parking lot, and some guy had taken up 2 spots by the front, 2 whole spots with the 6-wheel diesel truck, and I had to park all the way at the end of the parking lot. And I walk up, and he's got a bumper sticker on the back of his car that says, "Real marriage, 1 man, 1 woman." So I left him a note, "Real parking, 1 vehicle, 1
Yes.
That's a douchebag.
See, I understand that they pretty much keep douchebags in the Walmart parking lot. You'll run into quite a whole herd of douchebags.
They're all inside.
A gaggle of douchebags.
A gaggle of bags.
Inordinate number of douchebags. You could solve that just by the Walmart greeters. You have everybody that's normal gets a stun gun on the way in through the door.
No shit.
And if you catch somebody's too fat on one of those carts, you fucking zap them right off of that thing.
Bye, Grandma.
If somebody was wearing stripes and plaid, you fucking nail them.
Pajama pants.
Oh,
Pajama pants.
so much money.
Fred's whispered in my ear over here, pajama pants.
Yes.
You, my friend, are a well-groomed nighttime douchebag.
You're a poor douchebag.
Yes, no shit. I'm going to tell you what, you douchebag, those pants don't fit. All right?
Walmart would become a completely different shopping experience if they were handing out those stun guns at the door.
Well,
that would be awesome. It would
you need a hunting license for one thing. Douchebag season. It'd be a season for douchebags.
It's called douchebag.
You just can't go willy-nilly hunting douchebags. They've got to repopulate all that,
Well, you
What
could
would
do
be
them
the
at Walmart
camouflage
on
you would
Monday
wear
and
if
Big
you were
Lots on
hunting
Tuesday.
douchebags? I mean, how would you disguise yourself if you were hunting douchebags?
Now you have a string and you just pull the string and they follow the string. That's what happens.
No, it's a douchebag will find you, sir. I don't know. If there's a douchebag around me, they will certainly find me, and then be.
Because you guys go in pairs.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. Here I am being a douchebag again, you bitch. I've had enough of that.
I'm not cutting.
Have it mounted on the wall of your den. I got this douchebag out in the forest. You'll see.
There we go. Fucking mounted above the fireplace. Great.
Some dude in a trucker hat with like a glass eyes put in, you know.
The gallery of douchebags.
We've just learned how to properly identify the douchebag. Can you approach said douche and ask him, pardon me, sir, do you speak Douchonian or whatever the fuck you douchebag speak?
So what we need to know is, how do you identify a douchebag before you engage with them?
If they had their hat backwards and a snapback.
Oh, you bet. You bet. A douchebag.
Upside down visor when they were popular.
A douchebag will be checking himself in his visor mirror before leaving the car to walk through the Walmart parking lot. I'm telling you, the douchebags are out there. I don't know that there's anyone identified.
That motherfucker's in the handicap spot too when he's doing it.
And the other spot next to it. Nobody scratches the cripple's car, I'm fucking telling you. I'm telling you.
His old lady's in pajama pants. For
Sure. That's her.
Pajama pants with no top.
And we'll need 2 riding carts, please.
Yes, please have it. Just NASCAR style racing in their little fucking
And no
douchebag.
bra. No bra when the bra is needed to be on.
That's like Choppers of War.
Hey, Dr. Gonzo just walked in the room. Say hey to Jamey Stone.
Gonzo.
Hey, how you doing?
Jamey Stone.
Jamey Stone, you got funny. You have funny hair.
Jufro.
Oh, we learned that's the Jufro.
Jofro. Are you kind of Jewish? oh, Jew-esque. I like that. Where are you?
I am in
Cedar
What was her name?
Douchebag, you're in Cedar Rapids.
Are you playing at the? You playing for Jeff Johnson? Are you?
Yep, Jeff Johnson doing the Penguins gig this weekend.
Yeah. How was the casino last night?
Oh, the casino was great. They were fun. I enjoyed them.
Yeah. There's a lot of old people in that casino.
Mike is really
Yes,
hot.
there are.
That mic's really hot, so I shouldn't yell. All right. Well,
People up in the front row in the early 120s, you know.
early 120s. That's good.
You can only get 3 or 4 because of all the oxygen tanks and walkers and shit, so.
Did you get the free buffet?
You douchebag.
I did.
You're in front of the line of the free buffet.
Yeah, I got the free buffet, and I was sitting there looking at all the people before the show, and I'm going, if this is the crowd, this is going to suck.
The buffet is going to rock.
I'm going to be the youngest person in the casino. Yeah. Well,
So
good.
what's your definition of douchebag?
Yeah, you walked in.
Douchebag.
You missed it.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
What's your definition?
Here's what we've come up with so far. Chris's definition of a douchebag is a person who's just patently insincere.
Okay.
Which is probably pretty accurate. Jamie has a longer version, but pretty much the same.
Okay.
And we also discovered in the midst of the conversation that Darren believes he's a douchebag.
I am now a douchebag. I found that parameters were set.
Now we're
The
at
parameters
point
were
where-
set.
Here's where I can chime in, Gonzo.
Okay.
We're at the point where we're trying to lay down some criteria for identifying a douchebag before you physically engage the douchebag.
Wait a minute.
Well, if you take it literally, it's a bag with douche in it.
Okay, so which means any of those Walmart shoppers that are taking
Yeah,
spots.
pretty much, yeah.
A bag of douche.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
I've been on the
He's
Walmart.
doctor, by the way. I'm going to introduce
I've
Dr.
been on the
Gonzo.
Walmart web page or Facebook page, you know,
You
people
go
just,
Walmart.
yeah.
Do you have your pajama pants?
What,
I'm going to go out on a limb here. One of your sponsors is Walmart, I would guess, right?
Actually, it's Johnson & Johnson, the douche manufacturers.
Brian, I'm John. Nice to meet you. Did you know it was going to go this direction?
No.
Hey, who's working with you?
That's a douchebag move.
That's actually somebody calling the golf.
Who's that?
April Macy.
April Macy, the singer?
No, this is a comedian. She's very funny.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
She's hilarious.
Can you follow her?
She's following me, so she's the headliner.
Oh, she's the headliner.
I'm
Wow.
the one with the cred, man. I'm just a happy, dopey little joke teller.
Happy, dopey little joke. Happy, dopey little jokey. Dopey little joke.
Don't hear you. Oh,
Hey, it's good talking to you, man. I'm going to let these guys get on with the program. I'm going to go back upstairs. Hey, have a good one.
Hey, Gonzo. Thanks for stopping in, man.
See you soon. Bye.
But you can find Jamey at jameystone.com.